Hey, what's up, everybody? True Boxing here. Thank you for coming back to Get Hit with the Truth. So today, continuing my 2021 year-end top 10s, and this is on the this video is going to be on my number 6 fighter in the 154-pound super welterweight division, the undefeated rising star Sebastian Fundora. Fundora comes in, they call him the Towering Inferno because he's 6'5 and a half, 6'6". This kid is big and lengthy, fighting at 154 pounds. He was coming in the year with, a lot of promise. He had fought a couple times in 2020 and impressed some people with a couple nice knockouts. Especially, God, I forget the guy that he knocked out. It was Nathaniel Gallimore. Impressively, he knocked out in 2020. So that really kind of put his name on the map because Gallimore had never been knocked out. So heading into 2021, he was hell-bent on making himself a player in this division at 154. So he started the year off taking on Jorge Cota, who was a guy that Jermell Charlo had fought and stopped in just a couple rounds. And, he wanted to make an impression against Cota. Cota, a tough guy, though. And Cota was coming at him, hungry. But they were going toe-to-toe. Cota was landing his shots, too, and backing up. He would back Fundora up a couple times, but Fundora kept pressing forward, throwing a lot of punches. And finally, he stopped Cota in the 4th round of that fight and stayed undefeated. Then he would return in December in a WBC eliminator against undefeated Sergio Garcia. And this would be a really good fight right here between these two. Garcia came to fight. He was undefeated as well. And he really threw himself out there against Fundora. Fundora fought hard, though. It was a good, hard-fought battle, very competitive. But most people felt that it should have been scored closer. But when it went to the scorecards, the judges came back with a wide unanimous decision for Fundora as he remained undefeated and moved up in the rankings in the WBC. So, nobody really complained and said that he got a lucky win or didn't deserve the decision. They just said the fight should have been scored closer. So, hey, nothing against Sebastian Fundora and all that stuff. But heading into 2022, things are likely going to get tougher for him, almost for sure. Let's look over his stats real quick. Right now, he previously was number 10. He was my number 10 fighter last year. He moves up 4 spots. And people are going to argue that he should be higher, and I have no problem with that. Only 24 years old, very young, and that gives him a lot of time to develop still. His record right now, 18-0-1 with 12 knockouts. And he was, prior to that fight, the WBC's number 4 contender. Now, Sergio Garcia was number 2. So that conceivably should put him at number 2 now in this division when the WBC updates their rankings. But the WBC is already planning a final interim title fight between Fundora and Erickson Lubin. Erickson Lubin, the former world title challenger. This is going to be a very good fight and matchup if this fight pops off. Now, this news is about 2-3 weeks old. I heard they're in negotiations for a fight, likely in April sometime. And I can't wait. I really, really hope that this fight comes together. Erickson Lubin fought for the title against Jermell Charlo. I want to say back in 2016, 2017. He got caught early in the first round and knocked out. But he has really built himself back up, scoring victories over good competition and moving himself up the ladder. And Sebastian Fundora is right behind him. He's trying to move up the ladder as well and make his case for the top dog at 154, to get in position for it. And a fight with Erickson Lubin is conceivably, even though it says interim title, it's conceivably for the WBC title. And I'll tell you why I think that. I think the winner of the undisputed title fight between Jermell Charlo and Brian Castano in their rematch, which is likely going to take place in March, I think the winner of that fight, there's a chance that the winner moves up to middleweight, especially if it's Jermell Charlo. I think there's a very good chance if he defeats Castano that he's moving to middleweight. And at at the very least, say Castaño wins or Charlo decides to stay at 154, I don't think the winner is going to want to hold on to all 4 belts because of all the mandatories. But I will say this. Charlo, if he wins, is likely going to middleweight if Erickson Lubin beats Sebastian Fundora, or even if Fundora, because I think that's a bad matchup for Charlo, to be honest. So I don't think Charlo's going to want anything to do with those guys. He's either going to hold on to 1 or 2 of the other of the 4 belts and give up a couple, or he's going to move to middleweight. Now, if it's Brian Castaño, I think Castaño, if he stays in the weight class, he's probably going to lean towards fighting a guy like Erickson Lubin or Sebastian Fundora. So the winner of this fight, I think, is going to be guaranteed a title shot in the second half of the year, whether it be against the winner of the undisputed title fight or whether it be against somebody else, you know, or like I said, the winner of this fight becomes the interim champion. They get upgraded to full champion and we're good to go. I personally, for me, would favor Erickson Lubin in a showdown with Fundora right now, but I really wouldn't be surprised with Fundora's height and reach if he pulled off the win over Erickson Lubin. So it's going to be interesting to see what happens, but you know, I'm hoping that fight comes together. But Sebastian Fundora really has the world in his hand right now. He could really do some damage and put himself right at the top of this division by the end of 2022, and he could actually be a world champion by the end of the year, and I think there's a strong chance of that. So that's it. That's my number 6 super welterweight in the world right now at 154 pounds, the undefeated contender, Sebastian Fundora. And this is my 2021 year-end top 10s. I hope you guys enjoyed it. True Boxing, you've been hit with the truth.